Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Intimacy podcast series. We are doing the Rakshasa Ganas, and now we shall do Moola Nakshatra. Moola Nakshatra by default is not very good at intimacy at all. The reason is they are too analytical. That's the sign. The elephant code and the bunch of fruits. It's very severe in kind of nakshatra, very harsh nakshatra. Okay. So this Moola Nakshatra, poor woman, is governed by Moola Nakshatra. So she loves to dig into everything that he does, like sort of a micro examination of everything that the person does. And so he will feel very infringed upon. It doesn't matter which nakshatra it is, Moola is very tough. It is Nirriti, isn't it? Goddess of dissolution, like the Kali energy. Now you stick that in a woman, it becomes really so. So Moola Nakshatra is not traditionally difficult to associate with a soft thing like intimacy because it will go penetrating the roots every single time. That's the main thing. Also, if you see this chart here, in the 1, 3, 4, 7, 10, 11 dynamic matching, Moola Nakshatra has very few. It has nothing in 4, it has nothing in 7 because those are all Devganas and Manushaganas. It has some in 3, Dhanishta and Shatbisha in Aquarius, and it has 1 in 10 and 11, which is Chitra, basically the same nakshatra in 2 different padas, isn't it? Virgo and Libra. So we shall do in this podcast just as a sample of how weird relationships can get for this particular lady, but still matching in dynamic with the respective Rakshasaganas in the same numerical axis, which we are talking about 3 and 11 or 10 and 4. Let's do 2 of them, just as an example. So let's see what this dynamic brings us. So remember, Moola Nakshatra is very penetrative, it is very dissective, it is very harsh. It is very analytical of things. It's in Sagittarius. This first part of Sagittarius, Moola Nakshatra. Again, there will be a Sagittarian dynamic of dishing out rules and regulations about everything. Sagittarians love to do that. It's a guru rule nakshatra sign, isn't it, Sagittarius? In Sagittarius, Jupiter loves to dictate rules and regulations all the time. So, Moola, what does it bring? Root level truth meeting systemic vision. Seriously weird. A bond where effort is philosophical and fulfillment comes through shared liberation. This is not an emotional romance. This is an ideological intimacy. Now, if you're getting into this kind of a dynamic, man or a woman, it doesn't matter. I've just taken samples. You better be ready for a very ideological concurrence between the two minds and hearts. If your ideologies don't match, you see some couples getting married because their ideologies match. Typically, they would be in this kind. Okay? Truth seeking. What does she want? Truth seeking. Roots destruction of lies to reveal the truth is Moola, if you remember the theme. Existential courage, detachment after clarity, philosophical fire, Sagittarius. How much more do you want to get there? It is philosophy 101. Emotional fearlessness. She wants to release her karma. Moola woman does not soften reality. She digs until the root is exposed, even if relationship itself must be redefined. Get ready if you're hooking up with a Moola woman, guys. You're in for a really hectic ride. Not what appears in flesh. Trust me. Shatbisha, Aquarius man. Now he's airy fairy. This is fire versus air, so it can be a very good dynamic. Okay? Because one is sitting in Sagittarius, one is sitting in Aquarius. So air fans the fire. He's a systems thinker, he's a reformer psyche, he's emotional detachment. Sorry, I had to go up for a quick sneeze there. Okay, so he is reformer psyche. He's unconventional intelligence. Shatbisha is as unconventional as they get. The healer of collectives, Aquarius. Future orientation, always thinking about future. What is coming in the future? Shatbisha is driven by that. Either in ascendant or in moon, they're driven people by futuristic visions. Autonomy, sovereignty, he requires independence to the max. See, air signs will graduate to Aquarius. 3 goes to 7 goes to 11. So the highest graduation of an air sign is Aquarius. The 311 axis, how does it play out? In this dynamic, it plays out as effort versus fulfillment, truth seeking versus ideological expansion. One wants truth, one wants ideology. You see where I'm coming from. This is where it meets an ideological connectivity between the two partners. If you're not ideologically connected, this relationship will not work. Philosophical courage versus futuristic vision. Sort of, he is in Shatbisha, so he can feed her futuristic visions and she will crunch it with her mind. Beautiful. It can be fantastic, but you have to look for the right things in the right places, folks. This is an axis where conversation reshapes identity, intimacy evolves through shared meaning. Like I said, they have to have the same ideology. They must be looking at the similar things. The guy is always, in this case, talking in terms of future. What does humanity hold? Where is the collective going? Blah, blah, blah. And he will come up with ideas which are fantastic and futuristic. And she will dissect and help him through that, saying, well, these are the kind of conspiracy theories involved, or these are the kind of things you'll have to tackle. She will cut through the lies very fast, Moola Nakshatra. So the feminine moon here in this case bonds through exposure of truth. Moola is always interested in conspiracy theories, shared belief systems, and existential honesty. Expresses love by challenging assumptions, dismantling illusions, and demanding authenticity. She will cut through all your lies very fast. So don't lie to a Moola Nakshatra woman. She will spot you in a jiffy. Needs freedom, philosophical parity, meaning over comfort. She wants to know the meanings. She's highly cerebral in nature. Well, so is he, but in a different form. Nothing is hidden, nothing is fake here. Then that's when it feels safe for her. She requires root level bonding, liberation attachment, and truth first intimacy. Like I said, don't try to lie to a Moola Nakshatra man or a woman. You will be caught faster than you can say tummy tuck. Masculine moon, on the other hand, Shatbisha man, bonds through intellectual resonance, shared missions. That's the key here. Shared missions. Ideological respect, yes. If she can agree on all these things with him, you can have a rock and roll time in this world. No stopping you guys. Expresses love by problem solving, enabling freedom, standing beside without enclosing. He requires freedom. Air requires freedom to function. Needs autonomy. Needs emotional non-intrusion. That's for him. Respect for independence. Feels secure when his individuality is not emotionally policed. She has a tendency to policy. Sagittarius likes to put policy and laws and rules and regulations everywhere. This is why those kind of Sagittarian dominant people end up in institutions as professors, as teachers, making bureaucrats out of everything who love to dish out policies. Policymakers is a Sagittarius. Now, if you stick moon in it, it becomes your emotional governance, isn't it? Detached loyalty, visionary bonding, and autonomous intimacy. So, how does it play out in sexual intimacy and dynamics, for example? The overall tone is cerebral, intermittent, understated, and ideologically charged. Perfect words for this relationship. Desire ignites through mental alignment. Sexuality is selective, private, non performative. They're not interested in too much getting into each other's bodies. It has to be minds here. Sexuality is selective. Intimacy deepens after a philosophical convergence. Let's say this man and woman are sitting discussing something deeply philosophical and there's a good resonance flowing. Suddenly they might feel sexually charged just because they happen to be converging on a number of points. This is an ideological intimacy. Strong attraction to intelligence, originality, and independence. The arousal keys for the Moola woman is authenticity, fearlessness, truth without dilution. These are the kind of, if this is a Moola, if you're a Moola woman listening to this, you will be like, don't try to be, pandering to me. Give it to me straight up. What is it that you require? And she will challenge every kind of idea that you have. So it requires truth without dilution. That's Moola Nakshatra. Shatabisha man, on the other hand, requires space, requires intellectual stimulation, freedom. He requires his freedom to move freely through ether. Shatabisha is ether. Varuna, space, ether. It penetrates everything. Best expression is quiet intimacy, late night conversations, like I said. It's a conversational dynamic. We think alike kind of bonding. That will lead to other forms of intimacy, but your starting point should be this should match first. Sort of the criteria should be very clear on this. How does it manifest? The basic core impact now. How does it happen? It's a low drama, mentally aligned, emotionally restrained. They each one is not looking for a lot of emotion, or at least they might be, but they are not necessarily feeling intimacy in these aspects. They are more cerebral in nature. Evolution driven over time, because it's a 3 level dynamic. Best for those who value truth, freedom, intellectual partnership, and parity. Ideological clarity, personal evolution. These are the keywords that this make this relationship work. And this is not ideal for those who want emotional fusion, reassurance, traditional romantic expression. See, expression can change folks, and it does, and it will. All that is we are discovering or unraveling in this series, you have to understand, is the signature, the quality, the dynamic that plays out between two people. It's not one person in a relationship, it's two. It's your chart versus the other person's chart. It's your moon versus other moon, Venus versus Venus, so on, isn't it? That's why it's called synastry. Let us do one more, which is her Moola Nakshatra. And let's get this guy over here to the 10th position, that is Chitra in Virgo. Let's see what that comes like. Right, folks. Let's wrap up Moola Nakshatra with this placement. Okay, so her moon is still in Moola. I won't go through the Moola again because we've already sort of covered her characteristics. We'll try to match it with his. Now he is in Chitra Nakshatra, the first two padas in Virgo. Next two padas are in Libra, like you can see. Even 11 is matched, but I'll let you do that as a homework. Now, what does this lead us to? The synastry part. Okay. His moon now is a Virgo man, so it's more of precision intelligence, analytical craftsmanship, corrective instinct, service through structure, aesthetic order, and improvement mindset, quiet control. That is his signature, which is very different from Shatvisha. This is grounded, this is Virgo. And as detailed and as precise. Chitra Nakshatra is very highly creative. It's a Mars Road Nakshatra, first of all, and it's Vishwakarma. So it's creative intelligence. Chitra in Virgo doesn't dramatize chaos, he fixes it. He's the Vishwakarma, he's the fixer of things. He's a celestial architect. His power is in designing systems that work. How does 10-4 axis play out? Public direction versus private stability. Truth-driven movement versus methodical containment. Destruction versus reconstruction. One is intent on destroying, the other wants to construct. It's a very strong dynamic, as you can see. This is a vision maintenance axis. One reveals truth, the other sustains function. So it can be seriously well matched. Seriously well matched. This is the serious dynamic of a relationship. It's good if you have it. The feminine moon, Moola, what does she do? Exposes truth, shared meaning, freedom preserved. We already saw this. Let us see what he brings to the table now as a Chitra Virgo man. Bonds through problem solving, consistency, and functional loyalty. Expresses love by organizing, correcting, and maintaining stability quietly. What he needs: predictability, usefulness, and appreciation for effort. Feel secure when life is managed and orderly. Keywords here being corrective bonding, service based attachment, and structured devotion. Why service based? Well, it's Virgo's, the sixth sign. Sexual intimacy and dynamics. How does it play out? Grounded, corrective, restrained, and functional. The 10-4 dynamic combined with Moola, combined with Chitra. 100%. Desire grows through trust and routine. Sexuality is subtle, responsive, and maintenance oriented. They want to maintain. 10-4 dynamic he's talking about here. Intimacy improves when lifestyle logistics stabilize. Both are intent on maintaining certain structure, especially him, because he's grounded. She's more of a fire. Fire and earth typically do not match. Fire and air match. Water and earth match. So, there's a dynamic of elements you always got to keep in mind. I'm just discussing when you pair nakshatras like this, what ends up happening, even if I match the ganas. You see, elements have to be taken care as per classical Jyotish principles. Desire grows through trust and routine. Sexuality is subtle, responsive, and maintenance oriented. Attraction exists more than reliability, more on reliability than a fantasy. So these people are very grounded. Virgo grounds, he grounds everything. She's on a fire trip. Moola woman requires authenticity, intellectual courage, and freedom without chaos. Chitra man wants order, calm rhythm, and mutual usefulness. So the best possible outcome, since we always tend to look for that, stable intimacy, quiet closeness, life works better with you kind of bonding. Risk, again, Rakshasagana, typical risks. Emotional dryness. If everything is functional, why did you choose to hook up with one another? But that's what nakshatra is. Nakshatra and Jyotish system does not give fantasies, people. It gives reality as much as reality gets. As much as sun is going to rise in the east now, Jyotish will tell you exactly what's going on in your life. Over analysis replacing connection. She's too analytical. Criticism replacing warmth. These are all the risk factors in any Rakshasana matching. You're not looking for that, isn't it? Stop being hypocritical with yourself. Vision versus routine mismatch. Fixing instead of feeling. This is the risk with all Rakshasaganas. So the overlay in strength of this pairing can be they can rebuild lives, correct karma, stabilize chaos after collapse. Both are quite strong in that. One is rebuilding, one is destroying. Danger is if emotional warmth is ignored, it becomes a functional arrangement without intimacy. Just a sidebar here. Always take care of what planets are in your Cancer. Both the man and the woman. Doesn't matter which nakshatra or which gana. The essential derivative of having an intimate relationship is to have peace. The fourth house, the home front, is for peace. It's for heart. Heart of any intimacy should be built around this. Okay, back to this. If emotional warmth is ignored, it becomes functional arrangement without intimacy. This kind of relationship pairing, both the man and the woman, is best for those who value truth, structure, repair, discipline, growth, and practical partnership. Virgo is practical. Not ideal for those seeking romance, first bonding, emotional fluidity. There is a lot of rigidity in this, and fantasy-driven intimacy. It's not ideal for those. There's nothing ideal in this relationship, folks. It'll be as grounded and as strong as it comes. Next one onwards, I shall do the mismatch, the danger zones. I'll match Devgana with Rakshasagana, which goes on a lot and which can possibly end up in a lot of divorces. It may begin to explain why so many divorces are happening, even in India, let alone abroad. Poor people don't even know these things. I'll see you in the next. Take care. Be safe.